Finally, he's back. Trayce Jackson-Davis has returned to the Warriors lineup, and he provides a dimension that no one else provides on the team. With that in mind, let's roll the tape on his incredible game versus the Suns. In this first clip right here, we're going to see Trayce Jackson-Davis late in the game. He played earlier in non-garbage time minutes, but the Warriors were up big, and so I just want to showcase how defenders are guarding him. Right here, you see Trayce Jackson-Davis gets around David Lee, and he has a great opportunity to go right to the basket and dunk on Mason Plumlee. And this is a different type of fear factor. Obviously, Quinton Post didn't play this game, but Trayce Jackson-Davis going into an open lane against someone like Mason Plumlee, you see what Mason Plumlee's going to do right here. He just grabs him. He grabs him right on the arms and prevents him from going up and scoring. Now, you may be asking, why did he do that? Why didn't he, try and block Trayce Jackson-Davis or do something with bad intentions to really make sure that he can't score? Well, this play is why. You see right here, we have a pass through the pocket right to Trayce Jackson-Davis, and Plumlee's in a pretty good position here, actually, but he's not good enough to get to this type of ball and get dunked on right here by Trayce Jackson-Davis. And that's why he fouled here, and that's why Draymond Green is so happy. You have a different type of threat with Trayce Jackson-Davis that you don't have with Quinton Post, you don't have with Draymond Green, you don't have with Kevon Looney. You have that above the rim pressure and that ability to really finish. Obviously, he's been a poor rim finisher this season, but I think part of it throughout this season has been, hey, go to the G League, get your finishing better. And I feel like this game, we really showcased the two things he could do well, which is finishing at the rim as well as making his free throws, because he's almost 50% from free throw line, which is just unacceptable with the amount he gets fouled. Already over here, you see Trayce Jackson-Davis once again looking for the lob. Steph Curry drives in. This puts Devin Booker in a huge pickle because he's guarding two players, and this leaves Steph an easy basket for Trayce Jackson-Davis and another dunk. And just look how pumped up Steph Curry is. He just makes players with really real rim finishing a lot better. And that's what TJD offers the Warriors, an above the rim finisher. And it's something only really he can bring compared to other players, which is super important, I think, with this Warriors offense that has a lot of dimensions with their bigs. And it feels like now they have a three-point shooter in Quinton Post. They have Looney, who's a solid rebounder, and now Trayce Jackson-Davis, who's a skyer and somebody who can really jump really high. Once again, right here, you see this clip, and I just want to highlight here the Grayson Allen foul as well. Him finishing through contact is something he really struggled with earlier in the season, and I think the fact that he's able to finally do that and finish through contact, make free throws, is going to be key for the Warriors as they continue in this last couple of games. I don't imagine he gets much playoff time, but if we need him, those plays like that are going to be important. Now let's highlight him on the defensive end. The level of the screen. Trayce Jackson-Davis is well beyond the three-point arc, which is right here. He's able to go all the way up with Nick Richards and try and go to the level of the ball. And this creates a little bit of confusion right here, leads to a Moses Moody steal and then a Trayce Jackson-Davis rollout, which is super important. Him on the defensive end is going to be key if he's going to make it in the NBA as a rotation player. And this play right here is just all fun and games. Tyus Jones is like, oh, am I about to get dunked on my head? And that's exactly what's about to happen. Trayce Jackson-Davis skies up there and gets the dunk. An awesome thundering dunk, which is always good for Warriors fans to see. And I think that really highlights his differing ability. And right here, he knows his job. And I think that's important with these new Warriors big men. Just knowing your job, knowing that you have to go all the way to the rim for Trayce Jackson-Davis, because he is a rim finisher, that's his job, is super important. And right here, he does a good job of going up. Nick Richards fouls him, but the fact that he's just going towards the rim, applying rim pressure in this lineup, which honestly struggles a little bit with rim pressure, with nobody being really good around the rim. Draymond isn't the greatest rim finisher. Butler obviously applies some pressure along with Podziemski, but there's no real rim pressure here. And I think Trayce Jackson-Davis adds a little bit to these types of lineups when he can finish around the basket and when he can make his free throws. So with that in mind, I really liked watching Trayce Jackson-Davis last night. I think he adds a little bit of a different dimension to the Warriors. Probably not something we'll use a lot in the playoffs, but just wanted to highlight one of the games where he got real minutes and really showed that he can play in the NBA. If you like this type of content, please feel free to like and subscribe, and thank you for watching.